Welcome. So we might have a couple people that show up late, but we'll just get going with the meeting for those of you that are here on time. So welcome to our peer mentor workshop. I think we're waiting for one person to connect to the audio. Okay. All right, so Norma, do you want to get us started?
Yes. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Norma Martinez. I'm one of the University's peer mentors, and today's agenda will be us, the peer mentors and advisors, will be talking about TPAC, which is our main office, College of Education Organization, some opportunities for us as students, also on-campus resources, and how to use online tools. So again, I'm Norma Martinez. I am a graduate student. I graduated last semester with my BA, and I will continue next semester with my following my credential with my bilingual authorization. Then.
Hi, I'm Molly. I'm also one of the peer mentors. I transferred into Long Beach last year, so last fall. I'm an undergraduate and I'm technically a senior, and I'm going into the MSCP pathway.
And hi, everybody. Some of you may have already met me through email. My name is Nancy Learo. I'm one of the academic advisors. So in total, you have 3 academic advisors at your disposal, but you'll mostly be working with me. And we also have Lisbeth joining us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lisbeth Garcia, and I am the Department Coordinator for Liberal Studies. So if you guys have any questions regarding the department or want to get a hold of anybody, just, you're welcome to come to the office and email me, and we'll do our best to help you.
All right, Norma, you can go on.
Okay, so for today's presentation, we highly suggest you to keep your microphones muted. If you have any questions while we're presenting, please type them on the chat so you won't forget. And we will have a little space at the end of the presentation to answer all questions. Molly and I are current students, and we are here to help you in general, like answering questions from a student perspective. We have taken most of the courses that you'll be taking, and I know sometimes you need advice from a person who has taken the same courses. So that's part of our job too. And also, so you know, this presentation will be recorded. And also some of the topics covered for this session, for other sessions will be fieldwork, as like serving or observation hours, parent and family sessions, and succeeding in online environment. So this is our campus map. We are located in the upper campus at the EED building. It's basically behind the library. That's where our office, TPAC, the Teacher Preparation Advising Center is located in case if you have any advising questions. If I'm not wrong, you can walk in later in the semester. Hopefully we'll stay open the whole semester. But here is, as you can see it. So the Teacher Preparation Advising Center. We have the email right here in case if you have questions or you want to schedule an appointment, you can do that. That will be later in the semester. We'll be open from 9 to 5, except on Fridays from 9 to 12 and 1 to 5 p.m. And also after mandatory advising workshop, you will be able to schedule an appointment through your single sign-on to have more like a more one-on-one advising session with an academic advisor in case you have more specific questions about your graduation and stuff. And our liberal studies advisors are Alia Garnica, she's not here right now, but she's amazing. Nancy Learo, which we have, she's right here, and Gabriel Rodriguez. And our credential program advisors are Jessica, Elodia, and Shane. Okay, so the College of Education has different, I would say, organizations, and COES is one of them, which is the College of Education Student Assembly, which is a student organization that promotes education and also helps students communication and interaction between like faculty and staff within the college. And similar to this, we also have the Liberal Studies Student Association and the Student Ambassador. So something important to stay updated is by checking every weekend on Mondays or newsletter. This newsletter contains important information such as upcoming workshops like freshman or transfer mandatory advising, important deadlines such as registration, scholarships, opportunities for involvement, or job opportunities, among others. Okay, so this is great. We also have opportunities for writing and for math. You can schedule appointments, which it's a great resource on campus. Let's say you have questions or you need to start an essay, you don't know how to start it, you like need to pre-write or something. You can, there's the link for the Zoom, or you can easily just email them and schedule an appointment. If you need to edit your essay or revise it, you can do that through our tutoring opportunity on campus. And as well, we also have the Math Tutoring Center. It's also, let's say you will be taking MTED courses such as 110 to 11, statistics, different courses. And I took those resources. I actually took advantage of those resources before, and I had the opportunity to have also one-on-one help with a tutor, and they will help me throughout all my courses. It's really helpful. I really recommend you to take advantage of these resources.
So
also, we could welcome.
Sorry.
And there you go. Molly will be presenting that.
Sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna start with Week of Welcome. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but Week of Welcome, it's on campus during the second week of the semester. And you don't actually have to register if you're a student, but it's basically like a week where there's tables set up for different clubs and sports, like activities that the school offers. And if you go online, you can look at the whole list of different clubs and resources that will be there during Week of Welcome. But yeah, so you don't have to register for it. It's just in the Central Quad. And it is from 12 to 4. So hopefully you can fit that in at some point while you're on campus during that second week of classes. Cal State Long Beach has a lot of resources that are available, and one of those is these Chromebooks. So if you have a really outdated computer or anything like that, you can actually use one of the school Chromebooks and they'll lend that out to you. And in addition to that, if you have a really unstable Wi-Fi, they can also help you with that and get you a Wi-Fi hotspot so you can go to your classes and have all the resources that you need. So there's the phone number, or you can stop by if you're on campus at Brotham Hall. And so that's really helpful. A few other resources is the Student Success Center. And listed there are just a bunch of different resources that if you have any type of like special academic requirements or academic accommodations that you need, you can go. I mean, that's Bob Murphy Access Center. There's also EOPS, which is the Educational Opportunity Program. And then there's all of those so that you can go to. There's also, if you're specifically a transfer student, there's the Transfer Success Center. If you have any questions about transferring or getting certain classes like transferred over, you can go there and they can help you with that. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with our single sign-on, but we have a single sign-on website. So instead of logging into your email and then into your classes and all of that, you can log in. It's sso.csulb.edu. I can write that in the chat. And so that's super helpful if you're, I use this every single day that I'm doing classes. And so you log in on there and then it'll take you to this kind of like a home page. And we circled 5 different, they're called chiclets. So 5 different little links that you'll use. So there's email, there's Beach Connect, Beachboard. You guys are already on Zoom, so you got that one. And then the Student Center. So going a little bit more in depth on the next one. Oh yeah, so starting out with Beachboard, this is where all of your class information is. So there's, all of your teachers should, at least hopefully by Monday, which is when classes start, have uploaded your course to Beachboard. And you can see your class roster, class discussions, Dropbox. There's different tabs for different things, like there's like a contents tab, which should have like your course syllabus, and all of your information will be on your Beachboard. And so that's something you'll probably be using every day. And then something else is your student email. You have an email account. I hope that everyone knows that, but yeah, so you can check your email. I would be checking that every day. And if you have any questions, you can contact the help desk. There's also Beach Connect, which is where you'll schedule any type of like advising or counseling appointment. You'll do that through Beach Connect. So I'll talk a little later, but you have to go to either a transfer mandatory advising or a freshman mandatory advising workshop, depending on if you're a transfer or a freshman. And so you'll be receiving emails. Like Nancy said, add that one email into your contacts so that it doesn't go to your junk mail. But so you'll be receiving emails and you can schedule your appointment through Beach Connect. And if you don't schedule that appointment in your first semester, you will have a hold on your record, meaning you won't be able to register for classes for next semester. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that advising appointment. And the last little like chiclet that I think is really important is Student Center. This is where you can view all of your academic history. So any classes that you have taken, or there's also something called Degree Planner. So any classes that you want to take in the future, you can plan out for the next 3 or 4 years, however long you're at Cal State Long Beach. You can also view your class schedule. There's personal information, your financial aid information. All of that is on Student Center. So I think it's a really important resource that we have at Long Beach. So again, if you have any questions or you need help, there is the help desk that you can call and they can help you. Like I was saying about freshman advising, this is just a little overview of what we cover at that. So you'll get a lot more in-depth information about the major of liberal studies. You'll learn about all the pre-major requirements and major declaration. In liberal studies, there's actually 2 graduation pathways. So you can graduate with your BA or you can do the ITEP pathway. So it's the same major, but it's just 2 different pathways. And you'll also learn what ITEP is at that freshman mandatory advising. And you'll learn when you switch to ITEP if you want to. At that advising workshop, you'll also learn about like all the classes for spring of 2022, and you'll just get a lot of information. So you definitely want to make sure to keep your eye out for that. It starts around mid-October, so keep your eye out. That's around week 6 to 8 probably. Yeah, so transfer mandatory advising is similar. There's just a little bit more in depth because you are further along in your years at Long Beach. So you'll learn a lot more about what the BA and the ITEP pathways are, and like in comparison to each other, what the differences are. You'll learn when and how to apply for ITEP. There's a hint, you apply at the end of your spring 2022 semester. So if you're starting right now as a transfer student, you're transferring in as a junior. And so you want to, by the end of your junior year, be applying for ITEP if that's the pathway that you choose. Again, those mandatory advising starts early October. So keep your eye out for that in your email. And I think lastly, yeah, so when to start thinking about ITEP for new freshmen, that's a pretty far off idea of graduation, but start at the end of your second year, beginning of your junior year, start to be thinking about ITEP, and we'll be sending out a lot more information by the time that you're there. And so you'll know exactly what ITEP is and all of that information. For new transfers, like I said, you want to start thinking about it after you attend that transfer mandatory advising, because you'll learn about it there, but by spring, you should really have your mind made up of which one you want to choose. And everyone else, if you're not a freshman and not a transfer, by the time that you reach 90 units, you want to be thinking about ITEP and which graduation pathway you want. So I think that was it.
Yeah, so it's not a super long presentation, but more than anything, we wanted you to know who the peer mentors are, who your resources are. So you have their email addresses here. Molly Evans can be reached at that email address. Then Norma Martinez can be reached at that email address if you need them for whatever reason. And I did want to highlight some things that the peer mentors went over, especially with the technology loan program. Most of you are going to be taking a math class here, and sometimes those require specific programs. So if your computer doesn't support those programs, reach out to student affairs to get a Chromebook. It's really helpful that you have the necessary equipment without necessarily going to spend $500-600 on a whole new computer just because of one program. The other thing is that as part of the conversation about the chitlets and what's available on your single sign-on, you also have what's called the COVID-19 pre-screen. So how many of you, and if you could just use like the reaction emojis available at the bottom, go ahead and raise your hand or do a thumbs up if you have any on-campus classes. So there's one person. So yeah, if you have at least one on-campus class, you are going to be required to submit that COVID-19 pre-screen, and that's going to be found on your single sign-on every day. I have to do it every day before I come into the office. Lizbeth has to do it every day. It's just kind of part of the new normal for now. So remember that. Also, for some of your classes that meet on Zoom, you'll have to be logged into your single sign-on in order to access the Zoom class. So some people just have Zoom on their computer already because I'm sure you had to use it in high school. But for example, for my class, all of my students have to log into single sign-on first, and then through single sign-on access Zoom. It's just kind of a way for us to avoid Zoom bombers and people that are not supposed to be there, or maybe people that were in the class and then they dropped it. So then, it's just a way for your instructors to kind of control who comes in. So make sure that you're using the right logins. Otherwise, you might be marked absent. So now we're gonna open it up to any questions you have, for Molly or for Norma, or even for me and Liz, but mostly for Molly and Norma. Anyone have questions? And feel free to add it to the chat or unmute yourself. No. Okay. So it looks like there's no questions. Molly, Norma, any last things that you want to add?
I think just good luck. Classes start next week, so good luck with that first week. It'll be a little crazy, but know that you have resources. I mean, me and Norma, Nancy, all the advisors are here to help you guys. So just reach out if you have any questions.
Yes, same thing. So we're here for you in case you have questions, any questions in general, we can help you out. And also I wanted to say, keep a planner, a calendar or something. This semester will be a little crazy, but definitely just stay organized with all of the due dates and stuff. It will be challenging, but I know we got it.
Liz, any?
Just want to say good luck, and we're here, like, you know, the peer mentors and Nancy advisor said, we're here for you. If you have any questions, anything, just stop by our office if we're there. If not, email us. I think that'll be the easiest way. Just shoot us an email, any of us, and we'll get to you. So good luck.
Yeah, and we're not always going to have all the right answers, but we'll know who to refer you to. It happens a lot that people come in to ask us about, something that doesn't necessarily belong to our department, but we're pretty effective at showing you who the right people are to talk to kind of make sure that everything is going fine. And if you need to make changes to your schedule, reach out to me or reach out to Aaliyah or Gabriel. But at the end of the day, all of the liberal studies team is here to make sure that you're transitioning well and that your first semester goes well. All right. Any questions before we end it? Okay. Well, thank you for those of you that came in. Andrea, Isabel, Jeremy, Nancy, and Sydney, thank you for being here. And if you have questions that you maybe want to stick around to ask one-on-one, you can. But besides that, welcome to Liberal Studies, welcome to Cal State Long Beach, and good luck next week. Bye, everyone.